Samanani, my name is Bonala and I'm not alone today. Finally, keeping my word. I'm sitting here with the most important person for crew members, HR. Well, it's you are
The most
important
important, that is overrated. What then should we say about the captain?
for the crew members. Because if anything happens, I need to come to you as
Yes,
HR.
you're right.
So, yes, she's gonna do a quick introduction. Tell us who she is, where she's from, and what she does on the ship.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Rashell. HR here on Holland America Line, and I'm from Zimbabwe. I was actually very, very lucky to be the very first female in my position in this company, to be the first female and the first black person. Yay!
We celebrate the wins.
yeah. So yeah, not just celebrating those wins, but celebrating women in spaces like this, because we know before not so many women were allowed to be in this kind of position, but everything is changing now. Unfortunately, I'm from Zimbabwe, Africa. Well, if there's anyone watching from Zimbabwe, makani usually say
What does that mean?
It's basically saying hi, how are you? Okay. How are you doing? Yes.
Yeah. Definitely. Is that Shona?
Yes, that's Shona.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I speak I don't speak in Ndebele. I kind of understand Ndebele. I know it's not the same.
Yeah, if you speak Zulu, you can very much understand Ndebele, like the basic words, unjani, uyapila, utini, those kind of words. They are most linked to people who speak Zulu, I guess.
Okay, that's lovely. So the important question, I know a lot of people watching this want to know, so how did I get a job? How did you get started? Where did you look? What was the process? What made you decide, okay, I'm going to ships. How am I going to do this? Did you always want to do HR? It's a lot of questions. Let me let you answer.
Okay, so for starters, how did I get to know about cruise ships? I was watching TV and there's a show called Below Deck Sailing Yacht. I used to love seeing the guys having a lot of money, because at the end of the charter, they would get all those tips and everything. So I was like, if I work on a yacht, I'm gonna get a lot of money. And then I also loved the fact that if they are not having a charter, they're out there having fun, partying. So I was like, I think I would love to do this. So that is what inspired me to look into getting a job on a yacht. And then I randomly bumped into this website and I said, okay, let's see how this goes. I just put in my CV, my qualifications, and the next thing I was getting was an email saying, are you ready for an interview on this date? I was like, wait, what?
Okay.
Because I was least expecting it to be that easy to get a job, just apply and then get a job. So I got my first interview. They were checking on my English, how I talk, and basic things about HR management. So I gave them that. They scheduled my next interview, which was basically more into my depth into HR, my qualifications, where I learned, my also my experience. They wanted to know what are my strengths, my limitations, and it was quite a good interview, very thorough, I would say. But after I finished, because it was a video interview, so after I finished it, I was like, oh my God, I don't think I'll get this job. I was talking to English people, like all of them were like very English, and I'm like, am I really going to get this? But fortunately, 3 months down the line, I got my email, my letters. Oh, you need to apply for this, you need to do this, and then this is how I got my job.
When did you start on ships?
2022 in August. That is when I started, until now. So I'm almost clocking 3 years.
Okay. Is there anything you would have changed about the process? You said you sent in your application through a website. Was it a website specifically for Holland or
no? So what I realized with this website, it's is it okay if I say it? Yeah?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So the website is www.allcruiseshipjobs.com.
Yes.
So www.allcruiseship jobs.com. So that is the website that I use. So I see that a lot of companies go there
Yeah.
to recruit, but also you need to be careful because there are scammers there.
Yes.
If anyone asks you for money on a website, it's a scam.
It's definitely a scam. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video where I put up all the websites that I know of, things I've seen online, because I've also seen that. I've applied through that as well. And now we'll see. These are the trusted ones. And if you're not sure, I think you can always email the company, can they? Email a company to say, are you recruiting, or is there restrictions on that?
That is quite a hurdle to verify these processes, because there are some people who are quite clever because they know that cruise ships are working like this. They have a level idea of how things happen on a cruise ship, and you might be scammed. So if someone mentions money, if they are not directing you directly to the embassies, and if there's no communication with the embassy, please don't go, don't pay anyone. However, we cannot take away the fact that there are some agencies which are responsible for recruiting for some cruise lines, because we have cruise lines that have got agencies that recruit people from South Africa, from India, people from wherever in the world. There are some agencies that are working with cruise lines and they are legit. And these agencies, to be honest with you guys, they wouldn't ask you to pay for anything.
They wouldn't ask you to pay.
Because they are contracted by the companies that they're working for. So their payment should be coming from the company, not from you.
There's another thing I know about agencies is that certain agencies do take a fee from your salary once you've gotten a job. I don't know about the ones in Africa, but I've heard in the Philippines there are agencies where they take a certain percentage once you've gotten a job. Would you say?
I wouldn't say that they take a percentage of that. They are like administration fees that goes within the working, but it doesn't necessarily mean that crew members are paying those people. Those fees come directly from the company. Regulations and rules of every country are different.
That's true.
And rules and regulations for every company is also different. So all of those agencies, especially in Asia, they have their own way of working. So it's not true actually to say that crew members have to pay a certain percentages to those agencies. No. There's a structure that works. And even if our team members come on board, we always ask, we give them an interview, especially the new people, the new hires. We always give an interview. Okay, so how were you hired? Did you pay anyone to do this? Did you get a chance to say that this is what you're doing? And in your contract, did what you were expecting to do the same thing that you're doing? Were you told otherwise that, oh, you can apply for a waiter position now, but when you get on board, you can be the maitre d'? So there's a difference. So be careful also about that. If you sign a contract and say that you're going to come on board and work as a waiter, make sure that you're coming on board and working as a waiter, because it also goes against the MLC regulation. So MLC is the governing convention of how maritime employees do work.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Sorry.
That's a lot. So if someone wants to get on ships as HR, what qualifications do they need to have?
So basically, you need an HR qualification, but HR is also divided into many parts. So recently here on board, we have the payroll accountant within the HR team. So you need to have a finance degree, something related to economics, and like a related experience as well that is in relation to the job that you're applying for. To come into HR, you need basically HR qualification. At some niche point, they were accepting people with like a national certificate, like any HR certificate, but it is more of an advantage if you have a degree in HR. And then for higher positions, it's also for higher advantage if you have CIPD qualification. You can have your master's in human resources, or furthermore a PhD. And then we have the training and development manager, that is also within the HR. Yes. So training and development manager does not really require only HR background in terms of experience, but it also requires you to be having some form of teaching experience. You need to have some sort of like a lesson delivery qualification, like how to deliver to people, know how to deliver trainings. So that is good. So some people come from an education background. You can have your bachelor of education, or you can have your teaching qualification, but then backed up by something from HR. So the two goes hand in glove for you to be effective in the role. So yeah, we also have some people who are lawyers. Who are coming from a law background. We have people who are coming also from psychology background. So all of these combine into making HR, because we have all of these things that you need to think outside of the box. You need to be someone who's open-minded, someone who can handle crew and handle policies and handle the training aspects. You also need to handle confidentiality. So there's a lot of aspect that goes with HR that is more than, because I know when everyone says HR, I hate people from HR. HR is not nice, but it's not that HR is just not nice, but we are trained personals to handle confidentiality, to handle disciplinary, to handle policy, company regulations, required documentation, required legalities. So we have to follow each and every that aspect of HR. But we are just not here to give you disciplinaries or to send you back home. No, that is not what HR for. We also care about you and also care about the well-being of the people on board. Yeah.
Okay. I always say to people we need to give pros and cons of working on a ship, because a lot of us sell the idea that, oh, you're going to have so much fun, there's a lot of partying, there's a lot of this, and a lot of, what are the pros and cons for you of being on a cruise ship?
My pros, definitely, this is a good working environment. Number one. Number two, it defies the odds of the things that you're used to. It gives you an aspect of doing something challenging, something different. It also gives you an opportunity to travel the world. I always say that I get paid to travel the world. So for me, it's like I travel the world for free. Okay. So for me, it's like I travel the world for free. So it's really good thing about working on board. But also the challenges is that you work between 4 to 8 months, depending on your qualification. 4, 8, sometimes 9, 10 months away from home, so you get to miss your family. Sometimes the network signals is jamming or it's not working, and you have your spouse back home and you need to explain, what, for the past 2 nights the internet was jammed because we're inside the forge in Iceland, and there's totally no internet. Once you get inside the forge, the internet got cut out. So those are the things that you have to face, and it's not really easy. Sometimes you have situations that require your attention back home, but you cannot really be there because you have to be
the time difference as well.
People get married, your friends get married,
people have kids.
Yes, you miss birthdays,
pass away, people. There's a lot.
And you cannot always be there to witness that. You do not have your weekend offs, you're working every day. But trust me, it's not true that we work like bandits. We do work 7 days, but we also have our off days, so our off time.
Yeah.
So it's always nice, because people say, oh, I've heard that people on cruise ships cannot get a rest. You're working 20 hours a day. That is not true. I always say that we see the world because every day we get chances to be on breaks and off time, so you can go out and explore. If I've seen half the world, I've seen America, I have seen Europe, I have seen the Mediterranean areas, I have been to Asia. I'm looking forward to go to Australia.
You go to Australia?
Yeah, that is the one itinerary that I haven't done so far. Yeah.
I still have so many that I haven't done. Oh my word.
But you're still on board. Yeah, you can do that as well.
Yeah, wow. Okay. How's the saving? because a lot of people are thinking, I'm going to work on ships, go shopping, go do this, go do that. Saving is very important. I remember you advising someone about saving and investing back home. Why is that such a big thing for you? And yeah, is it possible to save on ships?
Saving is possible anyway.
Okay.
My mom told me that if you want to be comfortable in your life, always when you get an earning, it doesn't mean necessarily your salary. If you work, this is your side hustle, right? If your videos are paying you $300, before you say I'm going to use $250, make sure you know how much you want to save from the $300 that you've just got.
Okay.
So this is what I have learned in my life, that each time I get money, I save first before I spend. So if you see me enjoying ice cream or gelato outside, it's out of like, okay, this is my money for its change. Yeah, so the money is good, especially if you're coming from where I come from. The money is really good considering the position and what I'm doing. I can manage to get some things done.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't live like a really fancy life. So I have a basic phone. I don't have an iPhone, but I don't drive an expensive car. I have a normal flexible car, but when I'm at home, I do not struggle.
Yeah.
So you're working on board for 4 months, and when you're on vacation, you can get vacation for 2 months. So for the 4 months that I'm on board, I'm getting paid, but for the 2 months that I'm not on board, I'm not getting paid.
Yeah,
so I need to have a balance in between the money that I'm saving for projects and the money that I am keeping for saving me, because you might never know, maybe I'll get my vacation longer, get 3 months, but if I don't have enough savings, then I cannot survive the 3 months.
That's true.
Yeah,
I always forget about that. The fact that just because your contract says you're working for 6 months and you're going to get 2 months off, doesn't mean it's going to be just 2 months. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
And you have to stay home longer than 2 months.
Yes.
So that is so true. Another question on top of that, which is, why is going back home and investing in where you come from so important for you?
So investing is not just important because it makes me look good, but I think I want to leave a legacy. I admire so much what European people do. They build for their grandchildren. You see a child, he's born and then he already owns a mansion because their great grandmother or their grandmother built it for them.
Yeah.
So for me, as a form of wealth generation and giving it to the next generation, that is really good. And then the other thing is doing it for the sake of when trouble comes, you're not desperate.
Yeah.
You're not. If I wake up tomorrow and then I am told I cannot come back to cruise ships anymore, I'm used to the lifestyle that I live right now. I'm not wearing makeup right now, but I am used to buying original MAC foundation, original MAC face powder, original MAC lipsticks. I buy Giorgio Armani perfumes, but it's a lifestyle that I have now and I need to maintain. So I don't want to be in the event that I wake up and I'm not employed anymore. I cannot afford my MAC foundation or my original Giorgio Armani perfumes because I'm out of the job.
Yeah.
So I put back home so that in case I will need, I'll have somewhere to go and I'll be comfortable and I can really do the things that I want to do.
It makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. What's keeping you going? What keeps you going on the ship? Because sometimes, like you're saying, we're far from family. There's stresses of work. And sometimes we also come and dump things on you because we're going through our own things on ships. And so what's keeping you sane? What's keeping you together to say, okay, I can do it through, I can get through the next 4 months, I can keep going? What's keeping you?
Well, for me, HR is passion. When I initially started my first degree in HR, one of my uncles asked me, why did you choose HR? I said, I want to help people in a different setting, like in a workspace. And he was like, oh, you can do philanthropic works and still help people. And then I said, my calling is in HR.
Okay.
I see myself there. So people can try to be rude when they come to the office, when they're laying their problems or they're stating what's happening, because people are frustrated for sure. It's 6 months, it's hard work, and people get offended and then they say all of those things. But because you're doing what you love, and sometimes the work that I'm supposed to be doing is a lot as well, and it always sometimes overwhelms me, and I feel that kind of, okay, I'm getting tired, I feel like I need to rest. But I keep going because I'm doing the thing that I like. It's passion, and the rewards are good. I get paid to travel the world. I'll say this again. My flights I paid for. The food that I eat, I don't pay for accommodation. So for 6 months. So if I'm back home, my apartment is like $300 or $400. So if I'm paying $400 every month and I have to work there, I cannot really.
Plus all of this, it is a lot more when you're working back home.
I wake up 30 minutes before the time that I have to start.
I thank the Lord for that. The fact that
Take a
we
shower
live here, we
and
work here. Yeah, this morning's very late. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Final words, something that you want to leave with someone that's watching this. Also, apologies for the lighting. We are in a crew area. We can't do this in a guest area where there's good lighting. So, any words for someone that's like looking to join one, feeling discouraged because they've been sending their applications on ships, but they're not getting a reply, and someone that's like still in school and is looking for something to study. They also feel like they want to help people, but they don't know how.
Okay.
3 things.
So I'll be honest about applying and say that a lot of people now are awake about cruise ships and they want to do it. So the volume of people applying for the jobs is a lot, and you gotta be careful when you're applying. The scammers also, they also reduce your chances of getting noticed. The way that you make your CV, find someone qualified, a professional, to help you with your CV. Create a professional CV.
Sorry to cut you. Any tips with the CVs? Because yes, now we're telling people apply for ships. This is how you can do it. But the CV is very important because that's the first thing they see.
Okay.
What would you advise someone when it comes
So
to
I
the
won't
CV?
talk only about the CV for a cruise ship, but I'll also talk about a CV for any job.
Okay.
We are blessed in this current generation that we have AI. So this is what you do with AI. Take the job description that is given on a job advert. Take that job description, give it to AI, ask AI what is needed for this job. Or take the job description, take your CV, put it to AI, and say, AI, can you rate my CV for this job?
What is it? The ATS? Is it ATS?
Yes.
Yes.
So you can do the ATS, you can do ChatGPT, you can do, there are a lot of AIs out there that can help you with recreating your CV. So also the AI can pick up what is really needed, the core values, the nitty gritties that are needed for this job, and what can increase the chances of you getting a job. Because also companies are using AI to read your CV.
Yeah.
It's no longer someone like a qualified HR personnel going through a CV and saying like, oh yeah, no. So AI does the best, and then it does the first selection, and then at a later stage, when actual humans get hold of the CV and do the final selection of the people that are called to interviews. So you stand a chance when you have AI to check your CV and look at the job that you're trying to apply for and what is in your CV. So that is the number one thing to look at when you're doing your CV for any job application.
Okay, initially I asked you 3 questions, but we're gonna end it here. If someone needs your help to get a job on ships, can they reach out to you, or you are just not available? Don't text me, don't call me, don't ask me anything.
FYI, I'm not an expert
but you know something
in anything. I know some things. My Facebook is open, Rashell Tendai Nherera, spelled as Rashell Tendai Tendai Nherera Nher Rera Nherera. So Rashell Tendai Nherera. You can hit me up on my message on my Facebook. My Facebook page is open. You can send me your questions. There's nothing really much on my Facebook page, but if you send me a message, I always check messages on my Facebook. Send me a message and let's see how this one goes.
Yeah. So I have final thing. I always want to ask this because I've been getting questions. The salary chat, like it's very awkward to answer a salary conversation because it's private, confidential information. So please put it out here. Will you be answering any question about salaries? If you're gonna say no, say it now, because I need to say I can't tell you how much.
So definitely I cannot give out how much people are earning, but I can give you a salary range for a particular department or area of work, but not the right amounts, just for the sake of awareness. And if you want to rate where you are right now and where you're going, you can always choose.
Do you want to give us a range then for HR? Since we're speaking to HR, I will try ask every department I speak to give us a range. Doesn't have to be specific. You can say more or less.
only when you come privately, and then we'll see what you're asking for.
Chat situation. It's in our contracts, right? We're not supposed to be discussing salaries.
Yeah, we cannot give the amounts.
I've had questions about salaries, and I'm like, you're gonna get me fired.
No.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
But also there are people who just don't want to work on cruise ships. We have people who also want to come and sail and have fun. So if you just want to sail and have fun, feel free to choose a good itinerary or look for us. We will recommend our company first. We recommend our company first because it's like quite chilled, it's very nice and very comfortable, and you travel in luxury. So yeah, hit us up and then we'll let you know all about it.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me.
Thank
you for doing this. Enjoy your vacation. You're going home
tomorrow. Yes.
Pack me in your suitcase. Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.